Well, I didn't expect that I would be doing this, but this is a serious issue that needs to be brought up because this is getting ridiculous now. This has been happening ever since the Chris Benoit tragedy, and now it's just getting worse and worse over time. And it's time to just kind of lay it down what it needs to be laid down. Um, Now, I only do this because I know if I don't do it now on Masterlight Wrestling Corner tomorrow, I am not going to stop ranting. I will I will rant to my heart's content on that show if I talk about it there. At least if I talk about it now, I'll have less to say Wednesday. So, if anybody wants to watch it, any of the guys from the Masterlight Wrestling Corner, Owen, ORRY, DRAVEN, Stan, whoever you can. It's fine. Because this is going to be a legit rant on the day-to-day operations on who runs this shit. First off, who in the hell thought it was the best idea? The timing of banning the curb stop. First off, I mean, obviously you can tell by the title of the video. I'm not going to repeat myself. Um, the timing of them banning this move couldn't have been any worse. Okay, this guy won the championship with that move. Now you're gonna strip the move of him. Like, you committed pretty much a grave sin, like an unwritten grave sin of pro wrestling doing that, because the guy won the championship on the biggest event with that finishing maneuver, and now you're gonna strip it from him. And from what I'm hearing, they're completely banning the move off of the Titantron completely. It's no longer going to be on the Titantron, and now they're going to expect us to forget about it. They're going to expect us to not remember Seth Rollins using that move. And my question is, why do we even have to go as far as banning the finishing maneuver when it was safe enough to do when you're a professional athlete, okay? Because of the risk of concussions, because some idiots tried to do some backyard fucking wrestling thing and completely botched the way to do the move. That's the reason why we're gonna ban it. And guess what? Shit happens. It's wrestling. Concussions happen. Now, yes, on the note, they should take a break if they have a really severe concussion. Because if it gets that bad, they can't freaking wrestle for a while. So keep them on the shelf, which is what WWE fails to do. But that would easily solve the issue, and we wouldn't have any of these moves banned. We wouldn't have the headbutt banned. We wouldn't have the curve stomp banned. We wouldn't have any of these moves banned. And hey, guess what? None of these moves are bloodthirsty. Okay, so if anybody wants to call me a bloodthirsty fan of wrestling, that is not at all the case. I just want to see good wrestling, okay? And I want to see a good finisher in wrestling. I do not consider a front flashback to be a finishing maneuver, okay? That was so shitty last night. It wasn't even funny. Like, I could have thought of 13 moves better than that fucking move to give it to Rollins, but they had to go with that move. I mean, the choice for a new finisher, the buckle bomb into the reverse flashback, or whatever the fuck it is, it's stupid. It made Dolph Ziggler and Seth Rollins' match look like shit. I mean, on top of that, the show was already atrocious, which we'll talk about Monday, I'm sure. Or, I'm sorry, Wednesday. Today's Tuesday, in case you could not tell. And now we're supposed to, like, not care. Rollins' curve stomp. It's banned. This is the type of shit, and I'm sure Owen mentioned this once. This is the type of shit that made me stop watching Raw originally. The only reason why I'm not going to stop now is because I can't just go back on my word. I said I was going to get back into watching it after WrestleMania. I don't want to be that guy to just not watch ever again. So I'm kind of stuck. unless they do something that's really stupid and everybody agrees with it. Then all bets are off. But I mean, fuck's sake, dude. Like, the fact that you got rid of the curb stomp is just baffling. What's next? We're gonna get rid of the bell lock or the yes lock because it hurts too much. It might break somebody's nose. Or what are we gonna do? We're gonna get rid of the Canadian Destroyer because it might hurt somebody in the head if they don't do it correctly. You know how many people's AJ Styles is injured because it was their own fault? You know, with the Styles Clash, that was all their fault, and you don't see him getting that finisher taken away. Why does Seth Rollins need to get that move taken away? Shit happens if you don't do a spot correctly. If you don't do the spot well enough, expect to get a concussion. If you're on the receiving end of a curb stomp, you might as well be pleading for a concussion. Do the finisher row, you won't get a concussion. There you go. Magic. You know, it's one thing to prevent concussions, which, by the way, is impossible. And it's a whole nother thing, you know, and it's another, and, you know, care about the well-being and everything, but it's a whole nother thing to completely make this decision, like, right after the big event. And that's what infuriates me. We're going to ban a move that he won a championship with at the grandest stage of them all in wrestling. Because that makes sense. I blame the legal team for that. I blame the creative team for that. Because if they were to think of this ahead of time, this shit wouldn't happen. And this is why, and I've said this before, and I'll say it fucking again, they need long-term planning. They can't do this short-term planning shit because this shit that fucking happens. All the time. It's all the time now. And I don't care if every rumor site imaginable, as long as it like predicts the stuff that's going to happen, as long as I know they have a long-term plan for everybody there, then I'm happy. But until I see that, I'm not gonna fucking give a shit. You know, I want to see long-term planning. Okay, wrestling needs long-term planning, and you need backup long-term planning, which they both don't have. They don't have either of those, and this is why the Intercontinental Championship was void after Bad News Barrett got the fucking injury beforehand because of Swagger, you know, and God knows what else. And yet people want to say Jack Swagger's a stiff worker. This ain't ballet. But anytime but Seth Rollins loses the curb stomp, and they're just like, oh nope, it's a good thing they banned the move. You know, it's hypocritical bullshit that led us to this state in the first place. Just because you ban a move is not going to prevent concussions, okay? Just because you ban chair shots to the head, it's not going to prevent concussions. And by the way, chair shot, how you take one, from what I've seen, is you put your arms up before the chair is about to deliver to your head. And then it actually hits your fucking palms, not the top of your head. I don't even wrestle, and I know that. I've seen it. If anybody wants to think I'm stupid, you can check out the match that Katie Lee was in where she got that brutal razor's edge that one time. Before that, she got a chair shot to the head, and it was just whacked. Looked like it hit her right on top of the head, but she actually had her arms up. If you really slow-mo that shit, she had her arms up. But in fast motion, you would not be able to tell, and that chair shot was fast motion. So it's not that fucking hard. It really isn't. They just ban these moves because it looks bad on them because they think that because of the way they treat. Here's what you do, okay? Be like UFC. Be like the NFL. If somebody has a severe concussion, fucking put them on the shelf until they're ready to come back. That's all you have to do. And you'll wonder why CM Punk left. You'll wonder why Kurt Angle left. Like, goddamn, dude. You know, now we're going to ban finishers that made champions? Like, are you fucking kidding me? I mean, I really don't know what else more to say about it. I mean, except for the fact that it's baffling. It's fucking baffling. it's like one fan does a video of doing the curve stomp and does it incorrectly, and everybody loses fun. Everybody gets their fun taken away. That's what this feels like. You know, it's just, it's so stupid. It's so fucking stupid. I mean, I'd rather rant about this with DRAVEN. I was trying to get a hold of DRAVEN because DRAVEN's just as pissed off as I am, and I guarantee you. I know. You know, I guarantee you that fucking goddamn piece of shit, you know, creative would actually realize that, no, this is a really good move. We should actually let him keep this. But no, because some asshole on YouTube had to ruin the fun for everyone. So now we're not going to get the move ever again. I find this stupid. I find this repulsing. There's nothing funny about this. I mean, I had to get this rant out on Owen's channel, just because it was that bad. I mean, I was pissed. I mean, and how fast it happened too. It was an hour before the show that it was confirmed. So the fucking short term planning of that was just retarded. I mean, I guess they had this planned like a week in advance because they didn't show the curve stop. They were debating it at the time. You know, it was so stupid. I can't even begin to tell you how baffled I am. I mean, I wanted to see a fucking curve stomp after they came out. I was hoping that was just a rumor, and then when I saw that he didn't use it, it was bullshit. It was some serious. I mean, it's like when they tried to have Cesaro get rid of the uppercut, or no, yeah. At the time, they were trying to have him get rid of the uppercut when he first debuted, because apparently he wasn't doing it right. And when he finally did it right, then they let him use the fucking move again. Seth Rollins has never had a problem doing this move once, and I'm going to say that now. He has had no fucking head injuries caused by this, period. Okay? And he has done this since his FCW days, okay? His late FCW days till now. Now we're just going to ban it? Because CM Punk spoke out, so now we have to ban moves to take care of our superstars when all you really have to do is give them fucking time off, like a normal fucking sport. Which, by the way, you can do, because if you had the bullshit now, I mean, if you decided to do this, this would be much easier. This would be much, much easier than what you're doing now, because what you're doing now, I mean, banning moves now, banning chair shots and whatnot. I mean, especially when a storyline calls for like blood. I mean, I don't care for blood, but if a storyline calls for it, you damn sure better have blood. You know, it's a part of the freaking story, especially with Cena and Rusev's like chain match coming up. They're not gonna have blood. You know, now we're banning moves. We already banned chair shots. Now we're gonna ban actual moves. You know, first it was a curve stop. Like, don't be surprised if god damn, don't be surprised if some other move gets banned. Like, I'm honestly calling the Mission Oku driver that freaking Luke Harper uses to be next. Or I mean, and they banned Dean Ambrose's move, the headlock driver he used to have. Now they replaced it with the Scott drop, now they call that Dirty Deeds, which I think is fucking ridiculous. They're making him look like Mick Foley, but you know, it's still a good move, and it's safe enough to do. But I mean, you could still have that one as a Siggy, and he's done that to so many other people, and there was not one head injury, not one. But I mean, fuck, what do I know, right? You know, I'm just a fan. I'm just the one that, you know, watches the product. I don't know anything, guys. I'm just spewing shit out of my ass, talking, shooting shit, thinking that, oh yeah, I know everything, which I don't. I'm not saying I do, but I know what I like as a fan, and that's being dwindled down because of safety issues, safety hazards that they fucking cause by not giving people time off. So, there's really not much else to say. I mean, except for the fact that I'm flat out beyond pissed. Um, and there's really not much else to say. I mean, this was some shitty, 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 shitty decision making. I mean, I can't even begin to talk like fully on it because again, if I was with a group of people, I'd probably get more opinions because we talk a lot more. But it's just me by myself. I kind of said everything I needed to say. We'll probably talk a little bit more about it tomorrow. When I do the Master Wrestling Corner with Owen and ORRY and DRAVEN and maybe like a couple other people, whoever wants to join. But I mean, goddamn, dude, this is getting out of hand now. Where they are now banning moves. They've already banned chair shots. They've banned any weapon use, pretty much, except for on certain occasions like Extreme Rules. Um, they've banned so much shit. There's not even an Extreme Rules match at Extreme Rules yet. Like, what the fuck is that? There's a steel cage match. You know, and all they have to do is just give people time off. And be like NFL and be like fucking MMA and treat their superstars right. I know that it's not at all like those two sports, but they have concussions. They know how to treat their freaking athletes. And guess what? You have a stacked roster. Come up with a backup plan. It's that simple. It's that fucking simple. If they had a long-term plan, it's magic. You could do it. But guess what? They don't have a long-term plan. So I guess I have to get used to this shit because, fuck it, right? I'm pissed. I'm beyond pissed. I've already joined a Bring Back the Curb Stomp movement on Facebook. I hope that this actually goes somewhere and people actually vote to have the Curb Stomp back on the show and have it in Rollins' repertoire again. Because that's what I want to see. I thought that was a really good finishing maneuver, and now it's just going to be taken away because of BS politics again. Which, by the way, don't be surprised if they fucking bury Rollins for this. Do not be fucking surprised. Because that move made him, they took it away, and it's going to fucking break him. Because they're not going to give him enough time to come up with a cool finisher. They just gave him a fucking front flashback. It's going to fucking bury him. I guarantee you it's going to bury him. Nobody's going to be into it. Nobody's going to be into him. Unless somebody chants for the fucking curb stomp. Unless an entire crowd of people chant for the curb stomp, which knowing the crowd after WrestleMania season, like a month after, it's not going to happen. So, I don't know. I guess I just got to live with it. Fuck life. You know, you know, there's a lot of shit that we're gonna talk about on Raw, but this is just one of them that I just didn't want to rant too long on tomorrow. I knew it was gonna take the amount of time. I mean, I'm already almost at the 20-minute mark, and I, if I didn't mention this now and I didn't talk about it now, I would have ranted about it for too much of a long time on the freaking webcam podcast. So I'd rather do it now than do it on there. So there we go. Now we'll have more time to talk about other shit on the show. I'll be able to watch NXT today. Awesome. I haven't been able to keep up with it because of bullshit. And that's pretty much it. That's all I have to say. I think the curve stop banning is stupid, and I think that banning any move is stupid if it makes the freaking guy. So, yeah, that's all I have to say. And, again, not a bloodthirsty fan, so if anybody is going to comment on their little keyboards, I ain't a bloodthirsty fan. I just want to see good wrestling. And if you're going to take away a guy or a finisher that made the guy, as the guy made the finisher, you're freaking winding down your product into TVG. You might as well turn it into TVG if you're doing that bullshit. Peace out. That's all I have to say.